Thanks everyone for joining us for the first of two press conferences today. First half we have CommBank Matildas captain Sam Kerr, cap number 168. We'll start with some questions from the floor, if we can get the microphone.
Hello, Isabel Coots, Optus Sport. Obviously the big question, how are you feeling, Sam, and how's your calf going?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, the plan has always been the same. Miss the first two games and then reassess. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I was out on the pitch today, as good as I can be.
Anne Harrington, AFP. Sam, will you play against Canada? And if so, how long can you go for?
I mean, I would love to tell you guys everything, but you know yourself, being in sport a long time, that's a massive thing that the opposition wants to know. And like Tony said yesterday, it's going to go down to the wire. I'm definitely going to be available, but how we decide to use that is, you know, not to be given to the opposition, I think, is the main thing.
Just over here.
Hi Sam, Tracy Holmes, ABC. What's it like to have the most talked about calf in Australian sporting history? And you say that you'll be available. Does that mean you can play? We just don't know for how long.
Well, first of all, it's hilarious because I have the biggest calves in the world, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it decided to play up the day before the World Cup, but that's sport for you, isn't it? But yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be ready. And like we said at the very, very start of this, the plan was to miss the first two games and reassess, and that's where we are now. And like I said, I had my boots on today. Very exciting. But yeah, I feel very excited about not tomorrow, the next day.
Just down here.
Sorry, just Kieran Pender, The Guardian, just to be 100% clear, you are fit to play, you've selected?
Yes.
Cool. Next question. Yep, just Vince over there, please.
Sam, can you just talk us through the emotional roller coaster you've been through over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, obviously, it's not ideal. I think the shock of it happening I still had hope. I've never had an injury like this in my career. I mean, touch wood, this is the last, but you know, normally when I've been injured, it's been really a big one where I've been out for months on end. So it kind of just, you know, it's an easy pill to swallow, but I think with these ones, it's a bit more annoying, but yeah, it was obviously disappointing, and then I had to kind of suck it up. I'm part of a team. I'm not a part of an individual sport. It's not about me, and that's what I've done over the last however many days it's been. I've had to put the team first, and you know, I've been lucky enough over the last couple of years. I've always been on the pitch for this team, and I've always had teammates that have not been on the pitch and supported me and got me over the line. So that's been my role the last 10 days, and to be honest, it's an honour to be here. I feel really lucky and privileged to be here. So the most important thing is that I'm a good teammate and I support my team, and I look around women's football at the moment. I'm lucky that it's only a small injury compared to some other people. You look at Kira Walsh last night. So you have to look at the bright side on everything. It kind of sucks, but there's always someone worse off.
Vince.
Sam, Vince Regari, Sydney Morning Herald.
Hey.
How you going? I know you don't enjoy watching games from the sidelines. How difficult has that been, and what have you made of the campaign so far, particularly the disappointment the other night against Nigeria? Yeah,
I definitely get much more nervous sitting on the bench. I think when it's out of my control. I'm not a good bench sitter, but no, it's been, obviously the Ireland game was really enjoyable, and then the Nigeria game was actually quite good, and then it just flipped. But, you know, that's sport, man. I have to do what I can to help the team win. So I've enjoyed being on the other side and realising how important it is, the role you play from the bench. And I think, if anything, it's given me a new perspective on, you know, this whole team sport and how it takes a whole team. And yeah, it's been really enjoyable, other than the fact that I can't play.
Sam, Ben Davis from Channel 7, how are you going? Can you talk us through the last 10 days, how much work you've put into the rehab, what that looks like on a daily basis?
Yeah, I think Any athlete will tell you when you have a slight hiccup or a small injury, or a big injury for that matter, it's more work than when you're on the training pitch. So I've been putting in a lot of work. I've been, doing everything possible, and I've had a lot of help from a lot of people. Every single person has been so supportive of helping me. I've had a lot of support from my teammates, but I've done everything under the sun to make sure I'm ready for the next day. And it's always been the plan, so obviously the plan for me is to be involved, and I'm excited. I've done everything I can, and no matter what happens, I know that I've given everything, not just in the last 10 days, in the last 4 years, I've given everything to be here.
Sorry, just over here, please, because we've got limited questions. Steph Young, please.
Yes, Steph Young from The Athletic. Sam, sorry, this is...
Oh, hey, sorry.
Yeah, I'm a little American down here. Sorry, this is kind of an obvious answer, obviously an outside perspective, but is all the consternation over your calf and the massive expectation, in a way, it's a good thing, especially given how much work you and like the Doug have worked to build the sport in this country?
Wait, sorry.
How much work that's been done in terms of building women's football, all the attention for you?
In a weird way, maybe?
Yeah. I don't really know. I don't really get what you're trying to ask, sorry.
No, she's trying to ask the amount of attention that we've got now for women's football and for what's happening with the team and you. Is it a good thing because now people care about women's football?
Sorry. I thought you meant, I think it's always a good thing when there's attention around the women's team, but I guess it's obviously the World Cup, so there's more attention, but I think this has been growing, so it's not unexpected, but it's always a good thing. I think the women's game is finally getting the recognition it deserves.
Back to Ben. Oh, no. Yep, Mike's gone.
Sorry, Sam, I was just going to follow up. Can you quantify it for us? Like, how many hours? Is it overnighters, stuff like that? I mean, we know the lengths you have to go to, but what does it look like, number-wise?
I probably am not finishing. I start with the girls in the morning and I'm probably not finishing till about 3:34, but, there's also part of coming back from an injury is the mental side of it too. So there is time to switch off and enjoy things with my teammates. I've been watching all the games with the girls and switching off from the outside. But yeah, it's much more work when you're injured. Every athlete knows that, but there's a bit of a good candy at the end, I think.
Isabel.
Hello, sorry, back to me. I just wanted to talk about one of those games last night. One of your teammates obviously scored the match winner. Were you watching that game, and what did you think about Lauren James's goal? And obviously as well, such a young player, but she just took on that role in the post-match press conference. Kind of surprised a lot of people with how cool she was and chill, but were you surprised?
I didn't see her press conference, but I saw the goal. Obviously, we were watching it before we had dinner. I mean, she does that stuff every day in training. She's just a cool customer. She does, we see that all the time, but the way she just glides past people like they're not there she's a special talent. And yeah, I mean, she's so young, so it's scary what she's going to become.
Yep. Tom over here.
Sam Thomas-Smith from Keep Up. It's essentially come down to you have to beat the Olympic champions. Does that play into the team's never say die mentality, and how confident are you of actually getting over the line?
I'm really confident. I think last time we played Canada, obviously we didn't get the results, but we had 4 or 5 players out missing, and we feel really confident. We've grown so much over the last year, and we kind of spoke about last time we were in the Olympics, we had to tie the world champions, so I don't know which one's a bigger step to take, but no, we feel really confident. I think yesterday was a day to digest the game and go through it, but today we woke up with spring in our step. Everyone's feeling really good.
Got time for 3 more questions. We'll start with Tracy, then Teo.
Thanks for that. Sam, just with regard to analysing the game against Nigeria, was there any sense that, once they got 2 goals up, some old habits from the way the team used to be, the way the team has sort of shifted since? Did the team fall back into some old habits?
Old habits from when?
Oh, from, I don't know, pre-Gustafsson, just pre-2 years ago, because you have done a lot of work. We've all noticed the work, the shift in the team, the belief in each other, the self-belief, and I wonder if when that pressure came the other night, whether it's that kind of pressure that makes people slip back into old habits, and whether that has been any part of the review process since that game, looking ahead to Canada?
I mean, old habits is a really broad. I'm not really sure what you're implying, so I can't. No, I don't know what old habits you're meaning, so I can't really comment on just old habits. I think it's a bit broad for me to comment on, but I think it just was an unfortunate, series of events. I really can't comment on old habits, but I think, this is World Cup football, this is tournament football, it's different. I think it was unfortunate and we have to learn from it really quickly. We don't have to dwell on it for, but yeah, I can't really comment on that one.
Final two questions, Teo, and then followed by Vince at the end.
Hi,
please.
Sam. Teo Pellizzeri, representing Keeper. As captain, when you talk to your teammates, especially in the aftermath of the Nigeria result, are you a one to the group coordinator? Do you like to go with one-to-one messages? Take us inside what you've been saying to your teammates to keep spirits high, to keep standards high, and maybe even your feedback to your teammates, things you may have observed during the game.
Yeah, I think we're a really tight group, and I think we're a really honest group. So after every game, we meet as a team and we chat openly and honestly with each other. Maybe it's good things, maybe it's bad things, but the good thing about this team is that the captain doesn't have to have that role, and everyone speaks up. And it was the same after the Nigeria game. We spoke openly and honestly to each other, and then we move on and we prepare for the next game. And that's been something that as a team we've brought in because we think it's best for getting things out there, not starting little conversations. It's about speaking openly and honestly, and it's a free room, it's a free time to express how you felt, what you thought could have happened better, what you thought happened better. And that's something as a team I think's brought us closer, because we're allowed to, voice our opinions, voice how we feel, voice what we think needs to be better. And then from that moment onwards, it's prepare for the next game. And I think that's really important in tournament football. We brought that in at the Olympics and it's just stuck around.
Final question to Vince Regari.
Thanks. Sam, this is obviously one of the biggest games in Australian football history generally. In previous examples, particularly some of the biggest games for the Socceroos in the past sort of 20 years, the crowd has played a massive role, been very hostile, even to the extent of, I think against Uruguay, the booing of the national anthem. What sort of vibes would you like the crowd in Melbourne to bring, particularly at that very small, intimate venue?
Probably not the booing of the national anthem, but everything else probably. No, I think last time we played at Amy against Sweden, the crowd was amazing and it wasn't even packed out then. So, I mean, the crowd has been absolutely unbelievable. The fans at our hotel, walking down the street, people making us coffee, like literally everyone has been so supportive, and we can feel the love, and the girls thrive under that. So, of course, whatever the crowd wants to bring, we're willing to accept it. We need them, and that's the reason we play. So, yeah, as loud and proud as they can possibly be, and I'm sure me and the girls will be out there doing whatever we can to make them proud.
Can't give Melbourne too much credit though.
I like Melbourne.